As the fall season of 2021 approaches, we can't help but get excited for the upcoming batch of anime. Looking at some of the great new releases coming up, it's clear to see that the face of anime is rapidly shifting. Welcome to Animeology. We've got a list of some of the most exciting new animes coming out in fall of 2021. We've read the manga, cruised the light novels, and it's finally time for the anime adaptation. We're just as excited as you, so let's get into it. Number 10. Miss Comet has a communication disease. This is a series that will kick off with Shoko Kome's very first day at the very exclusive and elite private high school. Comet is absolutely beautiful, long and slender with beautiful black hair, total class and total grace. Everyone in the school is in love with her, but even though she seems so popular, Shuko is actually terrible at communicating and talking to others. We follow Hitito Tadano, an average high schooler that is looking to do his high school years quietly and just remain unnoticed. Seated next to the beautiful Shuko, he soon becomes the enemy of everyone in class. Slowly, the two start to develop a friendship, and Tadano learns that Comet is horrible at talking to people. She actually struggles to talk to others and doesn't have a single friend. A heartwarming and touching story with our two main characters helping each other out. It's really beautiful watching Shoko overcome her communication disorder as their relationship blossoms through friendship and potentially into something more. Number 9. Jahi-sama Won't Be Defeated. Easily one of the most exciting slice-of-life animes coming up. We can hardly wait to see just how hilarious this comedy series really is. If it's half as funny as the manga, it will have you rolling about on the floor laughing. We follow Jiha, one of the most feared and respected rulers in all of the Dark Realms, finds herself completely powerless and shrinker in the human world after a strange magical girl destroys the mana crystal and her home realm with it. The series follows Jiha as she tries to get used to our world. Things are pretty different to the Dark Realm, as she starts to make new friends, get used to her new surroundings and world to restore her original form and her home. With piles of cuteness and some great laughs, the silly daily adventures of Jiha is something we actually can't wait to check out. Number 8. The Far Away Paladin. Starting off as a user-made novel and then seeing insane levels of success as both a light novel and as a manga, it's finally time to see the Far Away Paladin get made into what we assume is going to be an absolutely brilliant anime series. Set in a strange time in a city of the dead, we learn of a single human child by the name of Will. Raised by 3 undead, it's clear to see Will's influences. A powerful skeletal warrior, a graceful mummified priestess, and a mysterious spectral sorceress all pour their love and teachings into the boy. The story kicks off with Will realizing that he is a human and unlike his parents. He starts asking himself some very heavy questions about his past and has no choice but to depart on an epic adventure across this post-apocalyptic land, meeting interesting characters through his travels and learning a lot about the interesting world around him, as well as about himself. We join Will as he journeys on the path to become a true paladin. Number 7. Chainsaw Man. An interesting blend of comedy horror with some heavy dark fantasy elements and some brilliant action scenes. Chainsaw Man is set to be just as epic as we hoped it should be. From a fantastically twisted manga, Chainsaw Man brings a fresh new perspective on comedy and horror that we honestly cannot wait for. Devils in Chainsaw Man are born from fears. These devils are often quite dangerous and uncaring with power levels according to how much fear all humans have of it. That being said, humans can actually form contracts with these fears to use their powers, alongside devil hunters that specialize in hunting down and capturing these devils. With some brilliant storytelling, a well-thought-out lore, incredibly violent scenes, and a fantastic sense of dark humor, there are few animes quite like Chainsaw Man that we are this excited to see. Number 6. The Aquatop on the White Sand. There are few animes that have such a strong and reliant core of emotion. The kind of heartfelt storytelling and emotional twists that come out of Aquatop of the White Sand are quite unlike any other. A grounded and realistic story that focuses on intimate human relationships above all else. Set in Okinawa, we learn of an 18-year-old girl that is chasing her dream by working at an aquarium, paralleled by a former idol from Tokyo that has given up on her dream and escaped back to Okinawa. The interesting relationship between the two main characters are the perfect backdrop to tell a tale of love, heartbreak, dreams, and desires. Working at an aquarium with an endless love for the sea creatures as opposed to achieving fame, but being deeply troubled and then escaping. Two vastly different yet unbelievably similar tales. A truly brilliant anime series that we need more of. Number 5. World's End Harim. A brilliant core concept with a fantastic MC based on many years of awesome manga. World's End Harim is said to be one of the greatest anime series out this season. We can hardly wait to get back into the grim but phenomenal world of World's End Harim. Set in the year 2040 when a horrible disease ravages the planet, killing almost every male in existence. Our hero, Ritu Mizuhara, wakes up from his cryostasis and learns that he is one of the 5 remaining males in all of Japan, ultimately forced to take part in a reproduction program in order to ensure humanity's survival. We slowly begin to learn a lot more and more about the true nature of the horrible virus that killed almost every single male on the planet, as well as the mysterious disappearance of his girlfriend and his desperate attempt to find her. World's End Harim is also keeping things interesting by occasionally showing us the perspective of the other men that developed an immunity to the virus and how they're dealing with the new global situation. Funny when it needs to be, but generally a lot more dramatic and serious than you'd think. Lots of ecchi, but not the classic harem you're used to. With a heavy dose of sci-fi and some intense thriller and some mystery aspects to it, World's End Harim is an interesting take on the classic genre. Number 4. Platinum End. A fantastic dark fantasy series, some absolutely riveting supernatural twists, Platinum End is an absolutely brilliant manga that finished earlier this year. With some fantastic story arcs and a fully completed overarching main story, the anime series is set to be released and we can hardly wait. Following the grim story of Mira Kashihari and his horrible life raised by his aunt and uncle after his parents' death, our hero attempts to commit suicide but is saved by a guardian angel, learning that his aunt and uncle were actually responsible for the death of his real parents. Granting him some insane magical powers, our hero confronts his foster parents and, well, we're not going to spoil anything just yet, but before you know it, our hero learns that God is looking to retire and is searching for his replacement. Miri is dragged into an epic contest in order to become the next god. He soon learns that some of the other candidates will go to extreme lengths in order to win. How far is our hero willing to go? Watch Platinum End and find out. It's really going to be out of this world. Number 3. Suki to Lakaya to Nosferatu. An awesome high-concept fantasy series with some interesting flavors of science thrown in, seeing a great deal of success as both a light novel and manga. Many anime circles are extremely excited to see the release of this series, and we're just as excited. Set in a world much like our own at the end of World War II, most superpowers turn to an international space race, competing fiercely to dominate the skies above. But in a world of vampires and supernatural, it should come as no surprise that the first astronaut in human history was a vampire girl. An interesting series that tends to be more emotional than most, the core cast of characters are highly engaging and extremely emotive. This isn't a series about big fights and epic powers, but rather an interesting retelling of history with some intimate and caring characters. A brilliant overarching plot with some very fresh and well thought out decisions. This is a pretty unique series and we're curious to see how things pan out. Number 2. Miruku-chan. Mixing horror and comedy is no easy feat, but Miruku-chan has managed to be one of the best around, running a highly successful manga series with no signs of stopping. The highly anticipated anime series is just around the corner, and although manga and anime humor is greatly different, we definitely have high hopes. Following an ordinary high schooler, Miko Yotsuya, that is cursed with the unfortunate ability to see horrifying ghosts and ghastly spirits that haunt her and the people around her. Miko is constantly trying to ignore these otherworldly beings and live a normal high school life. But they just won't leave her alone, constantly living in fear and trying her best to keep herself and her loved ones out of any danger. The true comedy of Miko seeing these horrific paranormal sights and just trying to ignore them. We were laughing and fearful throughout the manga and can't wait to see what direction the anime goes in regard to the monster design. And number 1. Deep Insanity: The Lost Child. Deep Insanity has a well-thought-out and extremely rich core concept. It's clear to see, and as such has been launched as a mixed media project by the legendary Square Enix. With a manga released earlier this year to huge levels of success, a video game release, and an anime set for fall of 2021, we can hardly wait to jump back into the world of Deep Insanity once more. The core premise of Deep Insanity is a world in which mass comas were caused due to a strange illness referred to as Randolph syndrome. We soon learned that this illness began from deep under the South Pole in a location known as the Asylum, leading people to explore these strange depths to find a cure for this sickness and also on the hunt for treasure. Both the manga and video game have vastly different stories set against the backdrop of this world. We really have no idea what direction the anime series will take, but chances are it will be completely new and unique. Either way, we are so hyped and excited. Fall 2021 is just around the corner.